Hello, Dungeons and Dragons and role playing game writers. Sorry, I had to think about that for a second. This is a tarot and energy reading for what you might want to think about for your story or work in progress for February of 2024. I'm Chris, and I'm a tarot reader for authors and screenwriters, writers in general. I guide them to form a deeper connection with their craft so that they're working with their projects, not on their projects. If you're not writing a Dungeons and Dragons or role playing game, I do have 10 to 12 other videos with different genres. So be sure to like, subscribe, and follow me to be the first to know when those are posted. This one was a little rough. I'm going to kind of be honest with that. I think the reason why is because I'm using the Dungeons and Dragons tarot deck, and I had in my mind role-playing games as I was shuffling. I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain because I know that Dungeons and Dragons is a form of role-playing game, and there are others, but I there might be a little confusion there, and I'm not sure. I'm not a part of the RPG world, so I'm actually trying to get more into that world, so I can understand the language a little bit more to help authors and game masters like that. But so if you can comment below on this for anything I say and let me know if it's helpful or not, that would be really beneficial for me. So first, I'm gonna say two things. One, I got two aces that are upright, which means yes for both of them. So go for it. Whatever you are trying to go for it. It's like there's a vision or something. Like the vision, I'm getting kind of a vision that you have. It's at least something to do with your fire element and your emotions element. It's kind of hard. Oh man, this is really hard to explain. I'm gonna keep going though. So let's come back to that if we need to. But yes, an ace upright means yes, and I got two of them. So keep going. So let's just move on to that. So I'm just looking at my notes here because I wrote so much down here, and it's just like it's all boggled in my head. The main thing that I want to get from these cards, or at least say with these cards, is I feel like you're giving a NPC character more attention than the main character. And this is how I got there. So there are four elements in the tarot: earth, air, fire, and water. In this Dungeons and Dragons deck, they've kind of reimagined it a little bit, and strength is fire, intelligence is air, wisdom is cups, charisma is earth. Now in this, we've got your strongest elements are earth and fire, which is pentacles and wands. But what's interesting and how I'm getting there about the NPC character thing is that you got two cards that are major arcana cards. And major arcana cards are the ones that we want to kind of pay attention to more. And they got less. They both got one each, one water and one air. But the other elements that don't have the major arcanas to back them up have more power, if that makes sense. So fire got 3, air got 2, cups got 2, and earth got 3. So because the two majors are in the category of a weaker element, it just makes me feel NPC characters seem to be getting a little bit more attention than the main characters. I'm hoping that kind of translates well for you, but that's kind of what I'm getting from that, if that makes sense. And if it doesn't, let me know. I'm trying to. I obviously couldn't had a hard time formulating words in my notes, but I'm here, so let's keep doing it. On top of that, I did the card at the bottom of the deck is the Lover's card. Now, the Lover's card doesn't necessarily mean lovers. It can, of course, but it's more about dedication. How dedicated are you to the story? And so I think that's a question that you might want to ask yourself is how dedicated are you to the story that you are writing and trying to develop? Obviously, you got 2 yeses, so keep going with it. There is a couple things you want to pay attention to, though, and that, like, the one thing that keeps coming out, I keep looking down, and the one card that keeps coming up is the 7 of Coins reversed. Now, the 7 of Coins is the 7 of Pentacles, and it's usually showing a garden, someone who is taking a moment to be happy with what he's grown so far, even though it's not quite ready to be picked. And if this card were not reversed, he's actually picking the fruit. But since it's reversed, it's like, don't pick it just yet. It's not quite ready. So there's just something that seems to be misaligned with your role-playing game arena for the month of February, and that was probably something you want to pay attention to for the rest of the month. Let's see. Did that. Got lovers, NPCs. Gonna go back a little bit to the major arcana cards. I'm not an astrologer, but the planets you might want to pay attention to are Neptune and Mercury. And the 2 signs that you want to pay attention to are Gemini and Pisces. Now, those are the 2 major arcana cards, like I said before. Those are like the weaker ones, but because they're majors, I want to give them more oomph, more attention. So that might be something to pay attention to there. Let's see, I did that. For bright yellow and dull yellow are 2 colors that are speaking to me with these cards today. So just something to keep in mind for whatever that means to your story. We've got some numbers for you to pay attention to, and that would be 2, 8, 18, 1, 1, 9, 7, 4, 5, 6. Those equals 61. And if you add 6 plus 1, that equals 7. And the 7 is the Chariot. And the Chariot is sometimes known as like your car. You're the driver. You can control, if something starts to go awry, you can control it to bring it back to the path that you want to go on. But because of the NPCs that seem to be getting a lot more attention than the main characters of whatever campaign you're writing, creating, running, it feels like you're like losing control of the project or holding back. I usually like to because you're working with your project, I want to express how to let the project breathe on its own. Let the project kind of take control of itself. But you might be trying to force something here, and especially force something with an NPC character that you probably don't need to. That's kind of what I'm getting from that. I'm not sure exactly how else to explain that, but that's kind of what I'm getting. I did pull 3 other cards. Now, the back of this card just says hat, but blue baseball cap, I don't know what that means for you. It could just mean hat. Just something to keep in mind. And then we've got fork in the road that's reversed. And usually, a fork in the road is going 2 different directions. Or not going. In this one, actually, you can't not really make a decision. And so I'm wondering if that has something to do with the 7 of Coins, not being able to pick the right fruit, picking the right character, picking the right NPC or the main character, if that makes sense, or the right or the wrong not subject, the wrong element, to be paying attention to for your story, at least for this month of February. To maybe help you get through that, what will your protagonists deeper... let's take out what. Will your protagonists deeper why, see definition on reverse, I guess I'll say that in just a second, change during the story? Why or why not? Answer the same question for your antagonist. So, deeper why means this is their true motivation that might be subconscious even to them. What is it? That's the deeper why. So that's just kind of what I'm getting from Dungeons & Dragons deck for role-playing games. I do have a role-playing RPG deck, but I wanted to use the Dungeons & Dragons deck just to see how that works. So yeah, I think that's pretty much all I have for the Dungeons & Dragons and role-playing games authors, writers, game masters for the month of February of 2024. Please comment below if you found this interesting or helpful. I'm open to suggestions on how I can make this work more for you and your writing journey. If you want to take this a little bit further, I have started a Patreon where you can get all sorts of writing prompts and to get those creative juices flowing every single week. I am open to also changing those tiers because I'm trying to make the space work more for you, not for me. I want to help you in your writing, you in your journey, you in your career, and I like doing tarot, but I want to adhere it more toward your needs, not mine. All those links are going to be in the description, and they're also in my bio, so just take a look at those. And remember to like, follow, subscribe, and share to anyone who might like this video, and I will see you in the next one.